Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today let's talk Bluetooth speakers. If you're like me at all, you probably have a few. You've evolved with them because they got better as time went on. But I want to point out more of the shop Bluetooth speakers, and in particular Klein and two Milwaukees. And those are the ones that I really like for more, I don't know, aggressive environments, outdoor use. Might take it on overlanding, camping trips when I'm not going to bother anybody by having some noise. But sound quality, you really can't beat a good home one. This is an amazing one. This is a Bose here. I don't know which one they call this, the Sound Touch. It is not battery powered. You have to plug it in. But good, solid, fast Bluetooth connection and unbelievably good sound. But that's what you'd expect from Bose. Another one, you know, for more mobile use, JBL has this little, I think they call this the Flip or something like that. It's got decent bass, and it's fairly durable and somewhat water resistant. So, you know, for, you know, home things, I like these. I don't use them in the shop. This is the cloth stuff on these, especially on the Bose. I mean, it's a nice finish. This just would get totally covered with sawdust or, you know, dirt. It'd be a mess. Plus, it's hard plastic. It is not designed to be dropped or bumped or anything. Obviously, this one with the rubberized ends, etc., and rolls off tables beautifully, though. This is amazing how easily this thing will roll off a table. But again, the kind of a fabric coating that would just get totally caked and you have to vacuum it out. So, what do I use for shop and outdoors? These are my three favorites. In size, in power, you move up, obviously. These, this is a rechargeable one. This Klein takes micro USB. It's also got your auxiliary jack. You can plug in there and hardwire it. What this one is really good for is when it's on, and I actually outlined these. You couldn't read them. It's typical Klein, like you can see the telephone there. So I actually took a Sharpie and then marked plus and minus for the volume and then the on-off. Obviously, you could have buttons here, but you could have indications here, but I mean, we've got these different human interfaces with devices. And here on Milwaukee, they put the actual indication of what the button does on the button, and here they put it near the button. On my Subaru, you turn on the dome light, or the light above the rearview mirror, by pushing the button or the switch that's near the light, and yet on my Toyotas, which I love, you actually push the light you want on, and it pops on. So you really should have the indications in nice, bold lettering on the actual place. So you push on what you want. See that in elevators too, you know, did you mark the button or did you mark the location of the button, but the button was also there, but not marked. Anyway, enough of that. What I do like here, if your phone rings while you're listening to this, you can just hit this phone button, and now this actually must have a microphone in it. It picks it up and you can talk. Adjust the controls just like you would a phone and then hit it and it goes right back to playing whatever music or podcast or something. It's got a nice solid magnet on the back. That magnet is pretty cool because it sticks to things so incredibly well. Let me grab something. How about let's see. This is a Falcon Even A2 wilderness knife. There you go. So in case you have to stick a speaker on your knife, that's shows you how well this thing works. This does have some stainless steel, but it also has a nice laminate on the inside. You've probably seen on my other videos. So there's plenty of high iron steel in there. And then this thing seems quite durable as well. I haven't had any trouble with them. I've had a couple. It's fully rubberized on the outside, hard plastic on the back. Looks like it's got some bass response on the back too with porting. It's got a lanyard tie here. And it has a tripod mount on the bottom, so you could screw it onto any 1/4 20 bolt which can hold it in place. And it has this mechanism here. It's kind of, you see these little connectors. This is designed to fit if you have one of the Klein tool bags or pouches or boxes or something that has that. That's not a magnet surface, or maybe has a magnet. I don't know. I don't have one. But anyway, you can put it in and click it and it'll stay in place. But anyway, I really like this. It connects up beautifully. It's got great sound, easy to use, lasts for a long time. And then for battery-powered ones with replaceable batteries, this is a nice small Milwaukee. You can see I've got one of their M12 6 amp hour batteries on it. Again, rubberized here, hard plastic here, seems durable. I haven't had any trouble, and I've dropped these, caked them in sawdust. They just keep going. Louder here, softer here, on and off, and Bluetooth pairing. And it does give you a battery indicator right there. Shows full charge. And you've got your line in, so you can easily plug a device in hardwired. And that actually does come in handy. And then it's got USB charging as well, which is kind of nice. So if I grab a cord here, and let's see, I will grab an iPhone. Here's one sitting around. I'll plug it in. And now what do I have? See if it's going to kick on here. My iPhone might be off, actually. Yeah, it is. I'll let it boot up and return. And then the third one I want to bring up is this bigger Milwaukee. And I've had Milwaukee radios. I've had Milwaukee, I think 3 different radios. Yeah, I've got an M12 radio. I had an early M18. And now I've got their M18 charger radio. I think they've got an even newer one out now. It's pretty harsh plastic. It's not, I mean, it has these kind of softer plastic, but not a rubberized coating. I think they're saying, don't drop this thing. I just don't think it would last if you did. It's pretty heavy. But one nice thing is it takes both the M12 battery and the M18 battery. So whichever you've got, you can use with this thing. And here, if I pop it out, it also has the ability to be plugged into the wall using an 18-volt DC power source. Here's my my auxiliary I can plug in, and it will charge your phone as well. However, one of the problems with it is it has to be turned on for this to work. And once it's on, obviously it's using a larger amount of battery power. I can plug something as big as this high output 12 amp hour battery into it. You can see that's pretty big, and I just made something that's really heavy, even heavier. But if we're on the road, or evening out in the backyard or whatever, something like this works great. The USB, Bluetooth connection on this is nice and fast. I wish they had the ability to customize them, but at least they name them more appropriately, whereas the Klein USB, when it shows up, let's see on the charging here. Okay, it is charging. You can see maybe the little indicator up there. And then I just turned it off. It's no longer charging, so you have to have this on, and that's the same with this one here. But you can charge your phone, which is kind of nice. On the Klein, no way. Oh well, but that's not its forte. And then, as far as recognizing the Bluetooth, the Klein has some kind of gibberish letters and numbers that you have to know mean this thing. Whereas these, I believe, are linked as like Milwaukee work tunes or something like that, or work USB. Actually, I could look it up for you. Right here. Turn that one on, turn this one on, and see what we've got for some Bluetooth here. This is an old phone that's not working. I use it kind of as a test phone. And what do we have here? We have got Bluetooth. Okay, the Klein, let me turn that one on and see what it shows up as. The Milwaukee, here we go, the Klein might be this AEPJS1. Let's see if that's it. Although I've got about 150 Bluetooth devices floating around the house. But you can see here that the M18 M12 wireless job something, let's see if it'll give me the wireless job site speaker, is what this big one's called. And then I've got the M12 speaker here. That blue one, this is the JBL Flip. That it would be nice, you know, in this setting, if you could just change the name. And some things you can change the name on. And then the Bose SoundLink, so that picked up an alert, came through something. The Bose SoundLink is also on there. So actually the SoundLink was an older Bose we had. But anyway, so what we're looking at is a quick connection, works great, good sound. This one's a little bit wonky in the finding it, but once you're on, it remembers, goes right to it, all works. Charges on this guy here, you've got volume, you've got the ability to use an auxiliary port, the Bluetooth button, and then the on and off. This one, if I've got plenty of room and I'm going to want some good sound outdoors or a louder shop environment, this is great. Smaller environment, not quite as loud, outdoors, on the road. That one works great, and then I use this all over the place. It's kind of just like my grab-and-go speaker, or if I've got a project like, you know, plumbing or tiling or something, you know, repetitious sitting around, I just move this around with me. These all seem to have a really good range. I've had, you know, 30, 50 feet, depending on what's there. The new Bluetooth protocols push out roughly, I think they're over 100 feet now. And by the way, Bluetooth is a weird name. Might wonder where it came from. There was a guy a long time ago named King Harold. They called him Bluetooth because apparently he had some big front tooth dental problem, and so he probably had a dead tooth that was turning black. So they called him Bluetooth. Anyway, he was responsible for kind of unifying some of the tribes of the Scandinavian area, Denmark, etc., that didn't get along. So he sort of brought a bunch of different components, you know, people together. So back in the day, I think it was in the 1990s, when Bluetooth protocols were first standardized for short-range, low-power radio communication between devices, Nokia, Ericsson, you know, some of the Scandinavian area phone companies were the best in the world at that time. And so that's where the protocol came from, so they got to name it. And so that's why they used an old, I don't know if he was a Danish king, King Harold Bluetooth. So it's kind of a fun story where this stuff comes from. But anyway, these are my recommendations for workshop Bluetooth audio systems. With that, Doc out.